So while I drink this, let's talk about how I became a minimalist. Where do I even begin? Let's kind of just go back a little bit on my story, where I came from and how it all got started. I think it really was like a slow process. It was not like I woke up and, I feel like it was upcoming. So when I had my daughter in 2018, I used to be pretty minimal actually. When I was in college, I kept things very minimal because I was trying to save money so I could travel. And I had my daughter, and my husband was stationed in Korea. So, people were like bringing me stuff and trying oh, you're gonna need all these things. So I just started accumulating things little by little. So long story short, my husband comes back from deployment in his military career. He didn't renew his contract, so we were done with military life. It's not something that we wanted to deal with anymore. And he always wanted to be a pilot. So I was relocated to the Metroplex area so that my husband could pursue his career. So he wanted to become a pilot, and we ended up moving. We had to sell our house and we moved into a small apartment. So we went into like a 800 square feet apartment, and everything just started to feel very crowded. But here's the thing about me. One thing about me is that I get easily overwhelmed, easily distracted, and easily stressed out. And a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that I've got ADHD, which that was diagnosed after I had my second daughter. And I just felt like I felt suffocated. That was in 2020. So at the beginning of 2020, I started working from home, like a lot of us did. So I was juggling my daughter, and then I was juggling my full-time job, and I was so unhappy. I felt like this huge lack of contentment, comparison. I felt like a failure because I was like, why am I starting over again? We used to have a house, now we don't. This place is so small. So I just little by little felt like I was burning down. And I think that was my sign, like, hey, Yeli, something is happening. But I never did anything with it. And it was around the time where we decided to purchase our house. And we got very lucky. We actually ended up purchasing a 3,000 square feet home, which for us, that was extremely big. I was pregnant with my second daughter. So in 2021, I had my second daughter while I was still working from home with both of the kids. I was burned out. I was completely burned out. I had lost sense of everything. We really couldn't do anything. At that time, we couldn't afford to get a nanny or anything. My husband was just kind of getting started with this pilot career. And so yeah, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. This is too much. I remember me like looking at my house, and like my house was taking a toll on it. I was like, I had to either work and take care of the kids or take care of the house as well. And I couldn't do it all, right? And for reference, we don't live in a place where we had family, community, or anything like that. So it was just me. And my husband was traveling most of the time, like weeks at a time. So it was just me with the kids and work. And I vividly remember the day that I called him and I said, babe, I cannot do this anymore. Something has to change. The house is a wreck. I am a wreck. Something's gotta go. And around that time, I had been hearing and learning a little bit about nervous system regulation, and I just felt this huge calling to start going back to church. We had stopped going to church for about a year or so, and I just felt like I had this void in me, and I felt like I was always looking for the next best thing to kind of fulfill that void. But little did I know that I needed to let go, and I needed to learn about myself before I could fill that void. So sure enough, we started going to church, and I slowly started to declutter my life. We have probably decluttered over 50% of our belongings. And little by little, I started to just feel peace. That peace that I had been looking for in years. I slowly starting to feel contentment with myself. I started to feel this huge amount of gratitude as to where we were in life. I was always upset at my husband because we had to start all over again for us to pursue your career, and it's taking longer than it should, and blah, 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 blah. And you're always traveling, and if you know, being a pilot's wife is rough. They're gone a lot. And it was just something that I knew that I needed to implement systems in my home, because I was never going to be able to keep up with him being gone for, that long of periods of time. So we kept on decluttering, and slowly he started joining in my journey. He started to let go of stuff as well. Mind you, he comes from a family where it's a little bit harder to let go of things. So we started working, and we got rid of a lot of stuff. And to be very honest with you, I had no idea what I was doing at the very beginning. I was just like, I'm gonna start one corner at a time, one drawer at a time, because I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know any better. And I started slowly sharing. I used to think that it was the most boring thing and the most boring side of my life, because who cares about this, But little did I know that there were thousands of other women that have felt it the exact same way, that have felt that burnout, that have felt that overstimulation of just having too much. We just live in a very fast-paced world that is always asking us to do more and to give more. And sometimes we simply cannot pour from an empty cup. And for the last 3 years, I have focused on creating a home that is peaceful, that is functional, and that is easy to clean. That has been my focus for the last few years, to make a home that is practical. Now, we did move about 7 months ago. My husband got an amazing job opportunity, so we moved, we sold our house, and we actually downsized by half the space. And I thought it was gonna be so hard, but we had decluttered so much that going from 3,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet home has not been that bad. And mind you, we have 3 kids now, and it's been a very amazing journey to kind of learn that contentment and not have that urge to constantly want the next best thing, and that constant hustle of always having to do something. So really, by decluttering it kind of allowed me to actually feel my feelings and just kind of get real with myself and where I'm at in life, to slow down, feel my emotions, and just simply let go and allow other new things to come into my life. So that's how it all started. So thank you if you watched all the way over here, thank you for watching. This is my very first YouTube video, so give me some grace. And don't forget to subscribe and follow along. Thank you for being here.